Young Scientist Badge Award Ceremony 2020. My name is Wendy and I'm pleased to be your host for today. This award ceremony is to celebrate you and your wonderful work in our Young Scientist Badge scheme. We'll be featuring outstanding projects and students throughout this whole event, so make sure you stay to the end of the ceremony as we've got great prizes to give away. We'd like to thank our sponsors for their unwavering support for this program. Let us kickstart the award ceremony proper by inviting Dr. Shabazz Khan, Director of UNESCO APAC, and Professor Lim Tit Ming, the Chief Executive of Science Centre Singapore. Our session moderator, Dr. Kirutika Ramanathan, the Deputy Director of Science Centre Singapore, will be directing questions on youth empowerment, self-directed learning, and the Sustainable Development Goals.
Hello, everyone. We welcome today on behalf of the Science Centre Singapore, Dr. Shabazz Khan, who is the Regional Director of UNESCO, and also Prof. Lim, who is the CEO of the Science Centre Singapore. And I'm really excited to see today because they feel very passionate about empowerment. So, Dr. Khan, why do you think it's important for us to engage youth so in and solve big problems?
Dr. Kiru, and I want to welcome all young people who have joined us today. With you. So why it is important? It's important because as we are forming in our life concepts, our ideas, how this whole world works. And world has gone through so many changes. We happened in the past, where we are now. How can we go into future with much more sustainability as it can be possible? I want to give you examples people who have made a difference. Not far back in time, I was very from a country called Pakistan. So when I was very young, less than 12 years old, the things which really puzzled my mind, how does electricity work? I turn on the button and how it helps move forward. How we make roads, how we make bridges. And eventually I became a civil engineer one day. I want to share the life of a Nobel laureate, Dr. Abdul Salam, who won the Nobel Prize in the area of physics, and he comes from a very small village in Pakistan. He went because of science all the way to UK, became a professor there, and he gave new ideas to the world, how the world works in terms of physics. So what is important here is science enables us, it gets rid of all the social inequalities. My own story coming from one part of the world and helping the whole world. It helps us solve big challenges what we are facing. And now, right now in Corona, why we are with this pandemic, how can we solve this problem? How can we solve the climate change problem? How can we get rid of all the plastic waste? How can we become part of the solutions rather than the part of the problem? So we must capture young people at the right age. And that's where the role of the science centers like yours and Professor Lim's. So we must excite the human mind to achieve the next best possible in our lives and believe we can go much bigger than what we are individually by working together and exploring this universe and finding solutions to these big challenges. So very critical. It gives us hope and it gives us confidence.
And certainly the youth are basically who are going to be solving some of these problems because it is their world. Prof, would you be able to add on to Dr. comments on why especially science centers are critical in empowering youth to solve big problems?
Well, Kiru, you know that at the Science Center, we believe in the power of youth, and especially when we empower them through the power of STEM. And the combination of youth power and the power of science, technology, engineering, and maths in really coming up with innovative solutions. To me, it's for the future, not only for the future, but for now, which is urgently needed. And youth, in particular, for one reason, they are going to inherit this world, they're going to inherit this planet. Another reason is because youth are, in a way, very passionate about certain conviction they have. I can give you an example of a few years ago, a high school girl, Ang, we call her Miss Ang. She started to campaign No Straw movement in Singapore. And I think that created a wave of now people realizing if you use a plastic straw, you will actually create a pollution and so on. And she, out of her own youthful heart at the age of 17, created the No Straw movement in Singapore. And today, most of the restaurants, if not all the outlets, are now going without straws. Another powerful example I know is UNESCO UNSDG and awarded some of the young people. And this young man, he was a teenager at that time in high school university days. He realized that a lot of young people, they don't finish their food. So when they don't finish their food, it's food wastage. And it is, again, contributes to environmental sustainability, pollution, and so on. So he came up with an app, and he called it Clear the Plate in Chinese, Clear the Plate. And it's very simple. It's just that he got all his friends to take a photograph of all the cleared plate, and he started to give points. And that became a movement that everybody caught on with it, and it became a business. He became a CEO of using this app to tell all the young people, don't waste your food, clear your plate. So the Chinese name for that app and that company is called Clear Your Plate, meaning finish all your food, don't waste your food. And this is where the power of youth and the power of STEM coming together to really come up with towards the UNSDG. Yeah.
Certainly, and I think one of the things we saw just earlier is students who use a lot of new technologies. We had students using AI, coding, and some of them were actually learning by themselves to come up with these solutions.
Yes.
To Prof. Lim first, actually, why is it so important that, in this day and age, students have to learn by themselves? And of course, using platforms such as the Young Scientist Batch program, for which we all gathered. Why is it important for students to embark in self-directed learning?
I think that is why Science Center have been running this I'm a Young Scientist Batch program for more than 30 years. And this Young Sustainability Champion is also one of the latest badges that we rolled out. It is to really encourage self-learning, self-initiated exploration, and self-initiated problem solving. And I think this is very important because if we can self-initiate, it shows that we love to learn. And lifelong learning is when you don't depend on whether the teachers set you an exams and whether you're in a formal education setting. I think taking your own learning in your own hands is an attitude of life. It's lifelong learning. And this mindset is going to be very important, especially with the world moving so fast, with technology transformation, with Industrial 4.0. And if we do not take learning and exploration in our own hands, then very quickly you'll be outdated. So I think it is important. There's no other way but to really love learning, because lifelong learning is the only way moving forward. Lifelong learning is life, right? Yes.
So to all the kids who are watching us live, it's important to bear in mind that learning is not just what we go and do in schools, but actually a lot of learning is what we learn by ourselves using our own We always think that, problems such as the SDGs, they are really big problems. Everything is connected, and we want to achieve so much in so little time, in less than 10 years. And UNESCO has been doing wonderful work in advocating these changes that we want to make. Is it too difficult for young people, or should we say, I'm too young? What change, what difference can I make? Or can young people actually take some steps to make changes? And can you give us some examples of how this has been done?
This is very important for all of us to realize we are global citizens. Every one of us, we live in one planet. There is no planet B. And whether we are young or whether we are old or whether we are too old like me, all of us must play our role. So the first one, very importantly, we must reduce our footprint. We should take water is absolutely necessary. We must reuse where possible, and we have to recycle. And irrespective of the age, all of us can do. If we don't like a burger and we throw it away, we don't throw away the burger, we throw away thousands of liters of water. We throw a lot of energy away. We also throw away the food which may be needed for hunger for somewhere else. So that's the understanding global citizenship education. UNESCO have amazing programs where young people are playing a great role. For example, the Man and Biosphere program. How do we actually contribute to better environment around the world? Young people go work there, they learn from there. We have another very interesting program about geoparks. How do we link with our geology, like in Malaysia with Langkawi Geopark? We have one of the most amazing world sites in the world. And that's where we also understand about biodiversity. Why it is so important for us to care for orangutans in Sumatra while we may be living in Singapore. We are living in this one planet where we need to understand our tropical rainforests, their role in terms of the greenhouse emissions and assimilation, their role in terms of solving big problems, the biodiversity and its important aspects. We need to understand the modern technologies, how can they play a role in improving our lives. So that's where the science centers work, and this science badge, the one I observed today. Amazing work being done by young people. And in my view, young people, especially in schools, their minds are even more open than what may be with more established scientists. They can think in a completely different way. How can we link coding with the understanding of different types of waste? How we link it with some kind of mechanical device which can sort it out? So young people are catching ideas so quickly.
Yeah.
And we must actually, in my view, we should not have this differentiation anymore, discrimination by age. There can be much more clever people, irrespective of their age, who can solve the problems of this world. And there are many such great examples everywhere in the world. Lastly, also, we are living in this world with increasing inequalities between rich, between poor, with the digital divide, people being in lesser fortunate countries and more fortunate countries. Only one thing which gives us the playing field, as Professor Lim said, the science, technology, education, mathematics. If we can master that, no matter.
Yep. Yeah. Right.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Right. I totally agree with what Prof. Khan has shared. That really, if we do not discriminate, in fact, there's a Chinese proverb that says, the later born, we need to be wary and fearful of them because they can come with very innovative ideas. It is not put in a negative way. It's to put into a way to the older people say that you should respect. You should really don't take young people for granted. Never underestimate the power of youth. I think, like what Professor Khan just shared, today we see the students' innovative powers because their mind is free to innovate. Whatever imagination they have, they try it out. Good.
So we are really thankful today for all of you to come to be here and share, to watch this program and be inspired by Prof. Khan and Prof. Lim, who have actually shared with us that age is really not the barrier to making a change. And so with this, we thank Prof. Lim and Prof. Khan. Thank you very much. And stay tuned because we have a whole bunch of very interesting segments that are coming, including a performance as well as quizzes and games. So thank you, Prof. Khan. Thank you, Prof. Lim.
Thank you.
Most welcome. And don't forget to celebrate World Science Day next week, 10th of November.
Yes.
Yes. We have many things happening.
Yeah, science for and with society, and young people are part of the society and very important part of society.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Right. Good.
Professor Khan, Professor Lim, and Dr. Kiritika as well. Those were some really valuable insights. Professor Shabazz Khan was also one of our judges for I Am a Young Sustainability Champion Senior Hackathon. And the results of the hackathon is actually right here with me right now, and we'll be announcing the winner later on. Thank you once again, Professor Khan and Professor Lim, for joining us today. So since this program is about youth and about science, we invited a very special guest to be here with us today. She is going to share with us her journey to become the first woman Nobel laureate, as well as the first 2 times Nobel laureate. Let us meet Dr. Marie Curie.
Sadie.
Hi, Dr. Curie, you're muted. Let's give Dr. Curie a few seconds to find the unmute button.
How about now? Now?
You sound great.
Wonderful. Hello, dzień dobry. My name is Maria Skłodowska-Curie, and like all of you, I am a scientist. Perhaps you are familiar with some of my discoveries. My work as a physical chemist was very important to the understanding of radioactivity. And in fact, radioactivity is a word I came up with. My husband, Pierre Curie, and I discovered 2 radioactive elements, polonium and radium, and I was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize. I am very honored to be invited to speak to you on this special occasion. You have earned your Young Scientist badges, and as a scientist, I could not be more proud of you. All my life, the most important thing to me has always been science and education. I grew up in Poland in the 1800s, and at that time, Poland was occupied by Russia. It was illegal for Polish people like me to speak our own language, and it was illegal for girls to go to college. When I was your age, I had to be a young scientist in secret. I loved science and math, but when I was young, instead of celebrating my triumphs and earning badges, I had to gather with other girls my age to talk about maths and science in secret. It was very dangerous because if the Russian authorities caught us learning about science, we would be in big trouble. We could go to prison or even worse. But to me, it was worth all the risks because to me, nothing is more important than learning. When we learn as much as we can about the world around us, we become the best versions of ourselves that we can be. If we want to build a better world for the future, we must first improve ourselves as individuals. And the way to do that is through lifelong learning. I hope you will continue learning about science and continue doing activities to earn more badges in the Young Scientist program. I understand some of you are earning your badge in chemistry today. As a chemist myself, I am very pleased to have more chemists joining the ranks of scientists working to make the world a better place. But as a chemist, I also learn everything I can about physics, about mathematics, about biology, and all the branches of science. The universe is a very complex place. And as much as we have learned as scientists, we are only beginning to understand everything that makes us, our world, and our universe work. As you learn more and more about science, you will likely find yourself asking more and more questions. It seems like the more we learn, the more we want to know. This is a good thing. I can't wait to see what kind of big questions you will answer as you continue your work as a young scientist. Our work as scientists is not always easy. Each of us faces our own unique challenges, and we must rise to meet them in our own way. For me, I had the challenge of growing up in a place and time where girls and women were not given equal opportunities to men. I had to work exceptionally hard, first by studying science in secret, like I mentioned, and then by persisting with my work in the face of people who did not believe in me. When I grew up, I moved to France, where I had much more freedom. I was allowed to go to college, and studying science was no longer something that put me in danger. But there were people who still thought I could never be a serious scientist because I was a woman. There will always be people who judge others based on incorrect ideas and try to hold us back from reaching our true potential. Sometimes we hold ourselves back because we doubt ourselves, or we fear that we aren't good enough, or everything just seems too hard. But remember what I said. Nothing is more important than learning. Our work as scientists isn't fast either. My husband Pierre and I spent years and years doing experiments in an old shed with a leaky roof. We stayed up late at night and worked every single day, even when we were tired, cold, or hot, or sick. We didn't have the nice equipment and resources available at places like Science Singapore, but we stuck with it. And in that leaky shed, we discovered 2 new radioactive elements. Now the elements polonium and radium are part of the periodic table. But when I was a young scientist, nobody knew yet that these elements even existed. This made me feel extremely proud and very, very happy. When we learn as much as we can about the world around us, we become the best versions of ourselves that we can be. And if we want to build a better world for the future, we must first improve ourselves individually. I learned everything I could about science. I practiced mathematics. I studied hard. I committed to my experiments, and I succeeded. When I was a young scientist like you, everyone thought an atom was the absolute smallest unit of matter, that an atom could not be reduced into smaller particles. But because I committed to my work as a scientist, I made discoveries that helped scientists understand that atoms are made of smaller units called protons, neutrons, and electrons. That's now accepted as a fact of the universe, and it's something everyone learns when you study chemistry today. But this was a life-changing discovery that was made during my lifetime. My research helped us all understand how certain elements decay and give off energy called radioactivity. This understanding quite literally changed the way we view the universe. So even though it was hard, and even though many people didn't believe in me, I remained committed to lifelong learning, and I changed the world. I hope you do the same with your work in the Young Scientist program and beyond. Times are very different now than when I was a young girl in Poland. Instead of risking your life to learn about science in secret like I did, you have the support of your families, your community, and institutions like Science Center Singapore. That is how it should be. When I received my first Nobel Prize for my work on radioactivity, the Nobel Committee almost refused to recognize me because I was a woman. My husband Pierre and I had to fight just for me to receive credit for my work. But now, anyone who works hard and completes the tasks can be recognized with a Young Scientist badge. That is how it should be. I'm glad we are gathered together today to celebrate your work and your knowledge, and I hope this is only the beginning of your scientific journey. The world faces a lot of problems: diseases, pollution, climate change, and on and on and on. The more we understand about how the world works, the better we can work as scientists to solve these problems. There is nothing in life to be feared, only understood. Now is the time to understand more so that we may fear less. So, as young scientists, I call upon you to believe in yourself and your ability to be a good scientist. Believe in your friends and your peers, no matter what their gender or their life circumstance. Support each other in becoming the best version of yourselves that you can be, and use your knowledge to make the world a better place. Today, people all over the world know my name, Marie Curie, as a scientist who changed the world. But I think I'm in good company with you young scientists today, because together I have no doubt that you too will change the world. Thank you so much for inviting me to speak today, and congratulations on your well-earned badges.
Thank you so much, Dr. Marie Curie. That was so inspirational. Thank you for motivating us to keep learning and to keep developing ourselves. And right here with me in the studio, we've got two very amazing individuals. We've got Octave and we've got Shavonne. They are the science educators at the Singapore Science Centre, and they have prepared a sustainability science show for all of us. A big tip for everyone, do focus on the show because we'll have a short game segment after this to give away some prizes right after their performance.
Hello everyone, my name is Octave. I'm a science educator from Science Centre Singapore, and with me I have my colleague Shavonne.
Hello, I'm Shavonne, and today we are at Science Centre to bring you Sustainability Science Show. So please make sure to pay attention until the very end, as there will be a quiz with prizes to be won. So Octave, what shall we start with?
Okay, we'll start off by burning this thing called butane, which actually comes from natural gas.
So natural gas is actually our main source of electricity here in Singapore. We obtain around 95% of our electricity by burning natural gas, which is mainly made up of methane and other gases such as butane.
Alright, so I've bubbled this gas through some soap water. You can see all the bubbles forming, and they're highly flammable. So what I need now is to simply light it up. So two things to take note. Firstly, take note of what is created during the combustion. And secondly, please do not try this at home. So if you are ready, in 3, 2, 1.
Alright, so for butane, when there is sufficient oxygen, it actually burns to form our carbon dioxide as well as water. But when there is insufficient oxygen, it burns to form water vapor, carbon monoxide as well as soot, which is the black substance that you saw while during the combustion. Right, so both carbon monoxide as well as soot is not good for our health as well as the environment.
And now I've prepared even more bubbles, right? So Shavonne, would you like to try controlling fire in the palms of your hand?
Sure.
Okay, so as you're coming out, remember to wet your hands. Okay, this is for your own safety. And what I need you to do is really simple. All I need you to do is to scoop up as much bubble as you can into the middle, into your palms, okay? And then just face the audience. And I will do you the favor of lighting it up on fire.
Alright, so just a reminder, do not try this at home.
Okay, if you're ready, in 3, 2, 1. So how does it feel to control fire in your hands?
It's really warm, but it doesn't hurt, so it's very good.
All right, great. So now, there's another kind of fuel that we like to talk about, is what we call carbon neutral fuel. Do you know what that is?
A carbon neutral fuel is an energy source that has net zero greenhouse gases emission or carbon footprint.
That's right, and over here, this is a carbon neutral fuel, what we call ethanol or alcohol for the limit. And we will be burning this, but we'll be burning it in something different. We will be burning it in this container over here instead. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this into the plastic container. I'm going to make sure it coats the inside of this container. All right, give it a little swirl to make sure that it's mixed well with the oxygen inside. And for my own safety, I will have to light it up using this stick so that I can stand as far as I can away from the flames. So, I'm lighting up the candle on fire, and if we are ready, in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so as you can see, the combustion doesn't actually create any soot, right? Unlike the one that we have with the butane gas.
Alright, so other than that, I'm going to show you 3 other alternative sources of electricity. Okay, so over here we have a solar panel, we have a hand crank generator, as well as a wind turbine. So we are going to give you a test to find out which is actually the most efficient in generating electricity. So Octave, are you ready?
Yes.
Alright, in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Okay, so for the infrared lamp over here, it is giving off light energy as well as heat energy, just like our sun. And the solar panel is actually going to convert this light energy into electrical energy. And in Singapore, we are actually installing more and more solar panels. How about the hand crank generator?
Okay, so for the hand crank generator, it actually converts kinetic energy, or what we call movement energy, into electrical energy. Some of you who cycle might have realized that there is this little light on your bicycle that lights up every time you pedal. So those little lights works in the same way as this hand crank generator, converting your kinetic energy into electrical energy and then finally light energy.
Alright, so about our wind turbine, you can see that there's actually a fan that is pushing moving air onto the wind turbine. Alright, so the wind turbine will actually convert the kinetic energy of our moving air into electrical energy. And in Singapore, we actually have one wind turbine which is installed at our Semakau Island. Alright, so now let's take a look at the results. Let's see which actually generated the most electricity.
Okay, let's start off with the wind turbine. So the wind turbine has a total of 0.001 watt hours. For the solar panel, not too bad, 0.022. And for my hand crank, it's only at 0.20. So from this, we can see that the solar panel is actually the most efficient source of energy. So for our wind turbine, it's not really feasible in Singapore because wind speed in Singapore is relatively low. As for hand crank generator, it's not very possible to have someone cranking all night long just to provide you with your electrical needs. And that is why most of our effort is actually concentrated in improving the efficiency of our solar panels. So all of this is done on a large scale, but what can we do as individuals to help create a sustainable future? How about starting with something small, let's say the trash that we create at home?
Alright, so Singapore's waste can be actually separated into two groups. Alright, the recyclables and the non-recyclables. So recyclables will be sent to recycling plants, whereas the non-recyclables will be sent to waste-to-energy plants, where they will be incinerated to produce steam, which help to generate electricity. And then the ashes will then be sent to Semakau Island and be buried there. So what can we do to make sure that our lives are more sustainable? For example, maybe we can think about how to reduce the volume of our waste. So what I have over here, on my hand, this blue little thing, right, it is actually made of corn. Okay, since it is made of corn, it is biodegradable, it is edible, and what is so special about it is that if I add some water to it, alright, and I give it a very good stir, Alright, so what you can see is actually that firstly the water is turning blue, right, and our corn material is actually getting smaller. Alright, that is because our corn is actually dissolving into the water. So if you make this into foam packages or compared to food packaging, if we compare to foam packages, this is actually a lot better in a way that after you pour water in it, you actually have no waste to throw. Right, so some other example that we can think about will be our edible utensils. Right, so imagine you're having a nice cup of coffee, and right after you finish your coffee, you can actually eat the spoon as well.
So creating a sustainable future actually depends on all of us. It is our honor this year to work with Temasek Foundation to come up with creative solutions to achieve the SDGs, or what we call the Sustainable Development Goals.
Alright, and that brings us to the end of our show, but don't worry, the ceremony has not ended. So make sure to stay tuned until the very end with more prizes to be won.
Thank you very much, Octave and Pure, for sharing with us so much about energy during your science show. I know it's exciting to watch it on screen, but I'm standing here watching the fire demonstrations live, and I can tell you So please take out your devices and then go to www.kahoot.it and key in the PIN number 8659915. The important thing to note is please sign in with your full name. This is to ensure that we can reach out to you later on to get you your prizes if you are one of our top 5 scorers here today. So please sign in with your full name. Make sure we can identify you. Yeshu, I'm afraid you might like to go out and sign in with your full name. Same for Titus and Brendan. This is to ensure that later on you can identify yourself clearly if you're one of the winners, and then we can give you your prizes. Hello, I don't know if we can identify you later on as well. So just everyone who is already signing in right now, do what Lauren Tan and Rua Chua is doing. So for Cloden, Hello, Leaf, and Titus, you guys might want to go out and come in again. Same for Bronze Camel 89. So once again, most important thing, sign in with your full name so you can identify yourself later on and we can verify that it's you, and we can tell you how to get your prizes if you are one of our top scorers. So I'm seeing lots and lots of people signing in right now. Chloe, I'm not sure if you want to add your surname to that in case there is another Chloe here. Same for Gien. Seeing a few very interesting names popping up. So please make sure those are your full names. Make sure that we can identify that it is you. All right, and with that, we are going to start our competition. So moving on to the first question. Let's see if you remember the Sustainability Science Show. In 3, 2, 1, the first question is, what is not produced during the burning of natural gas? Is it carbon dioxide? Is it carbon? Is it nitrogen oxides? Or is it oxygen? So if you were listening clearly to Octave and Pion earlier, what is not produced during the burning of natural gas? Carbon dioxide, carbon, nitrogen oxides, or oxygen? Make sure you're selecting the correct option in your phone or in your tablet or in your computer. Make sure your answer corresponds to the correct color and symbol. So we see the answers coming in. Fastest fingers first, all right? The faster you get the answer in, the more points you get as well if your answer is correct. And our correct answer is oxygen. Oxygen is not produced during the burning of natural gas. Let's see who's leading. We've got Yeshwan leading the charts, followed by Mahima, Titus Lau, Mei Bao, and Lai Ti Xuan. Alright, those of you whose names are not here, don't worry, let's get your names on. During the show, which equipment harnessed the most amount of energy? Was it the solar panel? Was it the wind turbine? The hand crank generator? Or was it all of the above? So if you're paying attention earlier on, which of these equipment harnessed the most amount of energy? The solar panel, the wind turbine, the hand crank generator, or all of the above? So once again, fastest fingers gets you more points, but make sure you get the correct answer as well. Let's see. Answers are coming in, and answer is solar panel. Fantastic. Most people got it correct. Let's see how the charts are looking. Mahima has caught up to become number 1. Yeshwant is still steady at number 2. We've got Shine, we've got Lai Ti Xuan, we've got Grace, who's new onto the charts. Moving on to our last question for this quiz. It's a multi-select question. How does Singapore treat disposed waste? Do we use a landfill? Do we ship to other country? Incineration, or none of the above? Multi-select question means you can select more than one answer. So there's probably more than one correct answer here. So is it landfill, ships to other country, incineration, or all of the above are not correct? Let's see. This is a little bit trickier perhaps. I'm seeing answers trickling in. There's more than one correct answer. There's a big tip over there. How does Singapore treat disposed waste? A very worthy question to explore later on as well if you want to research more into it. And the answer is landfill and incineration. Well done. And let's look at the final scores. In third place, we have Grace Trisha. She's really caught up. In second place, we've got Yeshwant. Well done. And in first place, I'm guessing, am I correct? It's probably, Shine Dolot. Shine Dolot has gone all the way up. So remember I said there are 5 winners, so Cheryl and Gien as well. All 5 of you will be receiving a prize. So later on, please text your full name and to the Young Scientist Facebook page, and it will let you know how to win your prizes. So if you don't remember this later, we'll be flashing the winners' names later on at the end of the show as well. Alright, so 2020 is considered an exciting year for our Young Scientist Badge scheme. And that's because we have launched 2 seasonal programs on the platform. One of it was I Am a Young Sustainability Champion, a program for seniors and juniors. And this could not have been possible without the support of Temasek Foundation. This complimentary online program aims to raise awareness and to inspire students to develop creative solutions around critical topics relating to environmental science. The tasks are designed in line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. There are many activities in these programs, and it includes experimentation, design, research, and ideation. Students who have submitted outstanding works were selected for a number of experiences from August onwards. These include workshops on technology, design thinking, prototyping, and eventually building some of the solutions that they were dreaming of. So we are pleased to now invite Janet Serra Neo, the board director of Temasek Foundation, and Yong Jian Yi, the Master Science Educator of Science Centre Singapore, to share with us more about this collaboration as well as Temasek Foundation's Youth Engagement Initiative.
Oh, hello, Janet. Can you hear me? It's nice to see you, okay?
Holly, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. How about me?
Awesome.
You can hear me. Good. All right. If you don't know, right, actually, I was the MC actually in the beginning.
Right.
So, yeah. So apologies just now for some of the questions that you asked that I wasn't able to answer.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
All right. Okay, now here actually I have the Kiro's asking that we should just engage you in some casual conversation as well. So, for example, right, you have been Temasek kind of doing sustainability and for quite a while actually. So you must have seen a lot of all this movement and students' initiative as well. So I'm just curious actually, in which particular SDG goals do you think we should focus on, and how can we kind of work together actually to try to bring it forth?
Yeah. So we're very excited to partner with the Singapore Science Center for I think 2 years with this Young Sustainability Champion program, and that's where we see it's really critical that we're able to work together on a field sustainability goals on responsible consumption and production, climate change, as well as the future of what our cities will look like, how we will live. So these are very major goals that we have already seen so much impact that came out from the students' creativity, involving the youth, because all those kids and the seniors, they are the future of our world. Yeah.
All right. So the thing is, right, this event is also partially, is only possible with help from Temasek Foundation as well. So the thing is, right, is there any advice for us? What would you like to see change, or how do you think that we should actually do it differently?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I believe in the power of innovation and partnerships. Like the theme today, right? Untamed and beyond boundaries. I feel that more than the steps that we could do is carry the courage to be courageous in our imagination, how we reimagine our city and our future will look like. And today we have so many solutions that came out from our young students about how they can create tangible solutions combining science, business, design thinking. So we need lots of creativity. We need people who are bold, who are courageous. And to all the young people, I would say, don't be afraid to chase after your ideas. If you have to test a million ideas to get to that one unicorn idea, go for it. Yeah, the world is your oyster.
Yeah, that is a very good advice actually, because initially when we look at the students, right, their project and their submission, now from my point of view, I was thinking, wow, that's you really want to do that? That's very, very challenging, okay? It is something that how to say, NGOs from around the world have been focusing on, trying to carry it out through a huge data processing, like AI and all these things. And you, students, you're interested in it, you want to learn more about it, and you are going to do it yourself, okay? So I do think that was quite challenging. And in some ways, right, I think the way I see this is not like they will finish it, but it is the learning process. They will learn what they need to do it. And in future, right, perhaps they could invent a new technology to actually make it possible. Who knows, actually? Right? Yeah.
More than that, I love to hear what the student want, rather than we coming from a foundation, deciding how the program will look like and how we're going to work with Science Center. We're here to serve the young and the youth of tomorrow. So we love to hear what they wanted. They want more from this program, how we could support them. Would they want more collaboration that we can link them up with tech companies, like the startups who are dabbling with sustainable innovation? Would they like more skills in helping them to do storytelling? I love to hear their feedback, because this program is for them. It's for the youth. Yeah.
Exactly. Actually, it's for the youth as well. So following this program, I think there's a few of them who are probably interested in expanding their projects a little bit more beyond what they have over here. And we're going to reach out to them and try to, expand the project. Yeah. Like the biodigester, I think there's potential in it, which I feel that I could actually personally help them with it as well.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what the power of collaboration is about, Yeah.
I noticed there's quite a number of the projects is based on, food security as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
Like trying to reduce food waste, which is quite admirable. And I like the idea of some of them. It's like, we tend to throw away food because we don't eat them. We let it expire and we just throw it away. So it's like, so that's a good idea actually, to try to remind ourselves that we have food inside the fridge already. Don't overbuy, and remind you when it's going to come about as well. Yeah. I think in some ways it helps us to actually be more conscious of our own consumption and how we actually do things. So I think that was a great one as well.
Yeah, definitely seeing a lot of ideas that the youth have today with the projects, that they are becoming a lot more observant to what are the social and environmental issues and challenges that are in our daily lives. Like besides the food wastage issue, quite a number of projects were highlighting about plastics. About waste that is going to the ocean. How could they come up with solutions that separate, to make like separation and sorting of materials better, so that recycling could be done and be improved. Then there are also kids who have noticed about the methane gas that can be composed and recycled. So I'm really heartened that young people today, they care about what's around their living day-to-day condition, and how they want to improve the way we could live and create a better future together.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So there's one project as well, which is a Kill Lean, right, where they wanted to kind of grow plants, like in an urban environment. So.
Yes.
So actually, I was that was something that I'm personally interested in, growing plants at home actually. So I have I suppose like a jungle actually. I'm a HDB flat as well. So that is definitely what I want to do, like build a tiered
very
system.
Innovative from that group, right?
Yes.
They take the inspiration from like the stacking vertical farms, but also combining the inspiration from Lego, like making like farming, vertical farming in a fun way, stackable. So imagine the build of our future.
Yeah. For now, it's just a small little scale. We'll see how it grows into the future.
Yeah. Very inspiring.
Yeah, that was interesting. Okay, and yes, and there was the project, wasn't it? I mean the ones with the tree roots that tries to, try to capture all the rubbish from the high tide rushing in. Yeah, I think that was when they first proposed it like a few weeks ago. I imagine that it was something like related to biomimicry actually. So we talked through it a lot actually, that they were talking about how they really didn't want it to be real stuff, because otherwise the nets capture it will actually damage the trees and stuff like that. And also the styrofoam will get stuck inside the tree roots. It might be difficult to remove as well. And that will create plastic microbeads. And I mean, I was thinking, okay, so you thought through the idea as well. Yeah. And you just wanted to use normal tree branches to stick out. So it changed actually. Oh, am I actually breaking off? It feels like I'm breaking off for some reason.
No, I can hear you.
Oh, good. Yeah. All right. Perhaps is that I'm just hearing my voice breaking out. So actually the process, the idea of that actually changed quite a lot actually.
Because that's about the innovation, right? That there will be many repeats of trying and improvising, and the speed of prototyping is critical in keeping up the product. So usually your first idea will never be the final, execution. It will be very different from that. Yeah.
Okay. And also one thing I noticed in the students, I don't know how the judges find them actually.
Right.
They have great business idea for it. They have idea for marketing it beyond actually what they have, not just building it, but eventually they would want to say, okay, we're going to sell it, or we're going to market it, put it on onto a market, for a larger audience. So usually, I mean, because I work at the Science Center, I don't really think very much about, we're going to sell it as a product and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But surprise.
There were some very interesting ideas they have came up with that are relevant. We're using social media marketing, social games marketing. One of the teams talked about using the later game called Among Us to be a marketing channel for them. There's another group that's working on food waste, possibly even collaborating with like the groceries apps or the online e-commerce platforms to explore their food wastage app where users can. So that would be really interesting. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That was quite an interesting thing. Now, the thing is, right, Janet, there's also one particular question I would like to ask you, actually. Because, in the recent months, we had a serious pandemic going on, actually. So how do you think that actually impacts Singapore's goal, actually, in our SDG, our attempts to, try to reduce food waste and all these things?
Yeah, I feel that, this is a very, very difficult year globally. But in every crisis, it presents us an opportunity to reset and reframe. So in the case of Singapore, our government has given so much support to cushion our economy. But at the same time, I think we are on the right track to think about how can we recover our economy better, thinking about the future and integrating sustainability mindset. We're seeing that in our ministry that has already changed, like even their ministry name with a focus on ministry from environment to sustainability and resources. So in the targets of Singapore, considering about food waste, food security, there are actual targets being set. There have been in policies with plastic packaging, e-waste. Our government has already took the step, right, to do their part in giving this notch to the private sector. Yeah, so we're seeing a lot more. I believe that in Singapore, we're going to see a lot more innovation coming up. And also, we are a hub for entrepreneurship. And we're known for good governance. So that's going to help us a lot. We have this age and we have so many young people who are deeply interested in solving difficult problems. Yeah.
All right, Janet. All right, not to delay the program any further, but thank you very much, okay, Janet, okay? And thank you very much, okay?
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, thank you. See you then.
And thank you, Yong. Thanks for the very positive outlook of the future. We are looking forward to more collaborations with Temasek Foundation. And for all of you who are waiting patiently for the results of I Am a Young Sustainability Champion Senior Hackathon, I have the results here with me right now. There will only be one team that walks away with the grand prize. Before we announce the grand prize winner, we have a few special mentions in no particular order. So here are our special mentions. As all the prototypes were so amazing today, we have 3 teams selected for best prototypes. They are Green Food Truck, Wastebusters, and Sustainable Hacker Champions. Next, the best documentation goes to Quellin and Sustainable Hacker Champions. Our mentor's favorite goes to Triple Threat. The best demonstration goes to the Earthlings. And finally, the Best Progress Award goes to OSH, which is short for Our Sustainable Home. We'd also like to mention 2 outstanding teams that our judging team and mentors recommended. Firstly, we have LAL with Alicia from Broderick Secondary School, Lincoln from Queenstown Secondary School, and Lakshaya from National Junior College for their innovative construction design. Next, we have Sweet with Kushi from Global Indian International School and Genevieve from United World College of SEA for identifying a particular area needed for recycling, pressing mango butter from waste seeds to make into soap. Thank you for your excellent work. And now for the moment that we have been waiting for. The winning prize goes to Wastebusters for their project on innovative trash cans that can identify recyclable plastics from other trash. Their goal is to tackle SDG 12 to encourage safer disposal of waste. Thank you once again and a big congratulations to all our winning teams. If you are interested to be a young sustainability champion, you can still participate. This program goes on online all the way till next year. So there's another round of hackathon in June 2021. So make sure you complete your 15 stars before January 2021, and we'll look forward to more great works from you for the Mega Sustainability Hackathon in June 2021. Now, if you are guessing that our next segment is going to be on mixed reality, you are absolutely correct. Remember I mentioned earlier we have 2 seasonal programs launched this year. The second program is I Am a Mixed Reality Creator, which was launched in June 2020. This is the 4th year that Caltex partners with Science Centre Singapore to offer students an opportunity to spark their interest in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics subjects through a fun and accessible to all learning journey. Mixed reality enables us to incorporate new things into our reality in order to make it more engaging and interesting. Students had a chance to use physical and technological design elements to create an augmented reality experience for online submission. The Science Centre Singapore has also conducted a series of online workshops to help students with some of the special projects in this program. We are very honoured now to have Jay Gomez, the General Manager from Caltex Southeast Asia, to share with us the collaboration between Science Centre Singapore and Caltex on I Am a Young Mixed Reality Creator. Hello, Jay.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Oh, very good. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you for joining us here today. Would you like to share with us a little more about your collaboration with Science Centre Singapore and especially on Fuel Your School initiative?
Well, thank you. Right. So, Caltex Fuel Your School is a initiative for a community outreach program designed to inspire learning and enable students to be creators of technology. Right. So, to us, education is an imperative, and it is the backbone of all thriving communities. So specifically, we aim to spark interest in the STEM subjects through a fun and accessible learning journey. And again, this year, we are so pleased to enjoy another year of partnership with the Science Centre Singapore. So it's always inspiring to see how the Science Centre always comes up with fun and thoughtful ways to make education fun.
It is indeed inspiring. I understand that Caltex supports Fuel Your School with a Fuel to Sponsorship program. Can you tell us how that works?
Oh, sure. This program taps on the support from the local motoring community, and also is a convenient way for people like you and I to actually support education, right? So through Caltex Go, which is our mobile application that allows for contactless refueling, for every transaction made at our Caltex stations, we contributed $3 to the fund. So that's how we sort of Fuel to Sponsorship program work for us.
Wow, that is such an awesome initiative. This year, the theme for Fuel Your School is on renewable energy. Would you like to share with us why?
Oh, yes. So as a business, we are committed to the future of energy, right? Especially in enabling human progress. And it has to be in a sustainable manner, affordable, and ever cleaner to serve the world's growing population and create a better future. And it is a value that both Caltex and the Science Centre of Singapore shares. So that's how we got to this year's theme.
Yes, Mr. Gomez, this is indeed a great theme as we've been striving to create awareness on energy saving and sustainability. Well, last but not least, would you like to share more about Caltech's involvement in the program apart from the sponsorship?
Well, it's a great platform for internal engagement. After all, it's important for us to walk the talk. So over the past years, our employees have been volunteering as mentors for students during the workshops. So this year, our volunteers have helped mark assignments for I Am a Young MR Creator, working together with the Science Center Singapore. I'm sure it has been an rewarding experience for everyone, but don't make my word for it. We have some from our group to share their experience.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gomez. The team from Science Center Singapore has really enjoyed working with Caltex as a partner once again, and thank you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Well, it's time for us to give out prizes again. If you missed out on the quiz segment earlier, don't worry, because right now we're giving away 2 untaped WOW passes in our upcoming game. So the game rules are the same. Take out your devices and log into kahoot.it, www.kahoot.it, and key in the PIN number 4508811. Once again, the most important thing is please log in with your full name. Make sure that we can identify you later if you are one of our 2 lucky winners. So you can already start logging in. Make sure you have your full name displayed here, kahoot.it 4508811. Alright, I'm seeing participants starting to log in. If your name is not on screen, it's time to log in. If you want to call your friends and tell them there's this quiz going on now, get them online to win some prizes, this is a good time as well. I'm seeing familiar names from earlier. Lots of familiar faces, names. People who are coming back to join in the second round. I hope you get luckier this time. I hope you get yourself some prizes. Alright, let's give it a few more seconds. Let more people join in. Leave, I'm not too sure if we can identify you later if you are one of our lucky winners. For those of you who haven't used your full name, please make sure that we can clearly identify you later. And with that, we are ready to start our game. So are you a mixed reality creator? This quiz is going to tell us. First question, which of the following application does not use augmented reality? Is it Snapchat, is it Instagram, Facebook, or Microsoft Word? Very familiar applications which all of us use. Is it Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, or Microsoft Word that does not use augmented reality? So if you use any of these, you should know the answer by now. Please key in your answers fastest fingers first. The fastest person to key in the correct answer gets the most points. For those of you who are new to Kahoot, make sure that you're keying in the correct options as well, corresponding colors, corresponding symbols. And with that, the answer is Microsoft Word that does not use augmented reality. Let's see who's leading on the scoreboard. We've got Dayaka Vikram who's coming in first, followed by Chloe Lim. Alright, everyone else below them, please catch up and let's see if you're one of our 2 lucky winners for today. Moving on to the next question. What is not essential to set up virtual reality at home? Wow, that would be fun to set up virtual reality at home. Is it sensors? Is it headset with audio? Is it tables and chairs? Or maybe you do not need controllers? What is not essential for you to set up virtual reality at home? Sensors, headset with audio, tables and chairs, or controllers? Let's get your answers in. Let's see if we have a change in the first 2 people. Okay, and let's see. The answer is tables and chairs. That is not essential for setting up VR at home. And let's look at the scoreboard. Chloe Lim has moved up to the first place and Aidan Koo has caught up. Alright, Revel, Koo Jing Heng and Kritika, you guys got 3 more questions to go to catch up to the top 2 places. Question number 3. What is not a type of augmented reality? Is it marker-based using a QR code, markerless recognition of physical objects, location-based depending on your GPS for location, or dressing up as a cosplayer? What is not a type of augmented reality? Once again, marker-based using a QR code, markerless recognition of physical objects, location-based depending on your GPS for location, or dressing up as a cosplayer. We see our answers coming in, and answer is, of course, dressing up as a cosplayer. Let's see what are the changes. Chloe is off the charts. Aiden has caught up. Wow, I'm seeing a trend here. We've got Revel in second place right now. Jing Heng, Kritika are still here, and Titus has newly joined the top 5. And just for special mention, Ravin Nakpal is the highest climber. Climb all the way up, buddy. Moving on to the fourth question. What is the advantage of using augmented reality or virtual reality in education? It makes educational activities fun, interactive, and engaging. The equipment is expensive, unable to replace the actual experience of operating on real objects, or extreme use might result in major health issues such as eye problems. Which of the following is an advantage of using augmented reality or virtual reality in education? So once again, is it that it helps make activities more fun, more interactive, more engaging? Or is it because equipment is expensive? Or you're unable to replace the actual experience of operating on real objects? Or extreme use might result in major health issues? And the answer is, it makes educational activities fun, interactive, and engaging, as I'm sure some of us have experienced by now. Back to the scoreboard, Aiden is holding on to his throne, Revel is still right there, Kritika has caught up, Tsing Heng has caught up, and Yen is back in the top 5 places. And we've got 3 players with answer strike 3, wow. Last question, last chance guys. What is not a feature of augmented reality? Is it that it projects virtual elements in front of physical objects? Users are completely immersed in a virtual world? You can add digital elements to the real world, or users see a mix of virtual and physical world. Which of this is not a feature? Which of this is not a feature? Is it that it projects virtual elements in front of physical objects? The users are completely immersed in a virtual world? You can add digital elements to the real world, or the users see a mix of virtual and physical world. And the answer is that users are completely immersed in a virtual world. That is not a feature of augmented reality. And for our final scoreboard on the podium, all right, our third winner is Bao. Congratulations, Bao, but I'm so sorry you don't get a prize for this one. Kritika has come up to second place. Well done. And in first place, drum rolls, Adele Neo. Wow, the scoreboard has totally changed since we saw it earlier. And a special mention to Chia Mei and Laurel Lim as well. But yes, Adele Neo and Kritika, you guys have won yourself an Untamed Wild Pass. So now we have 2 guests from Caltex waiting to share with us their journey through I Am a Mixed Reality Creator. Let us welcome Siva Kumar Tilak, who is the Technical Safety Advisor, and Hong Ching Kuo, also known as CK, who is the Risk Management Consultant of Southeast Asia. Hi Siva, hi CK.
Hi, Phila.
Hi. Alright, Hi, alright Siva, would you like to share with us on your involvement in Fuel Your School program?
Yeah, initially I was very curious to know what the children are doing in the new world. And especially on technology. That's why I volunteered to grade and help students to grade at least to help the student on their MR Creator project.
That's really nice of you, Siva. What about CK? What is it that you enjoyed most about working on this program?
Yep. So I have actually involved in two sides of things. One is, of course, the grading of the students' project, namely the creations of VR goggle. The second one, of course, is the naming of the necessary components to set up a home-based virtual reality setup. And then, of course, on the other hand, I also helped the students to perform their projects using the ZWork Studios to create the augmented reality. So, I mean, what I really like about this volunteering is I'm also learning together with the students. I myself did a lot of research on Google's as well, just to also arm myself with the necessary knowledge and skills so that I can help the students and guide them along.
So it was lifelong learning both for students as well as mentors, right? So what about you, Siva? Like, did you face any challenges when you were grading some of the students' works?
Yeah, in fact, it is my own competency in the subject. I think I should have done more homework before accepting to volunteer this effort to understand more about the subject. However, at the end of the day, I really learned a lot and really had fun with children.
It's really interesting how Siva and CK both mentioned homework in some way or other. This sounds like a very fruitful experience. Well, CK, would you like to say some encouraging words to our young audience who are currently watching this live stream?
Right. So to the students, definitely you have taken the very important first steps to learn about mixed reality. So I think just simply by your participation. So I'll say a good jobs to all of you. And of course, continue to stay curious and always have fun in your learning journey.
Thank you very much, Siva, and thank you very much, CK. It seems like our partners had a great time just like our students. The Science Centre would also like to thank partners like Siva and CK for taking your time to help engage the students on this program. So this season of this program has come to an end, but we're looking forward to future collaborations as well. So I'd like to take this opportunity to showcase some outstanding works for I Am a Mixed Reality Creator program. We've prepared some highlights of the MR program which we would like to share with everyone. So please sit back and enjoy.
This is the page that I used for the special project, and I inserted two 3D models, which are the solar panels and the wind turbine. Instead of one, I inserted two. Now I'm going to commit, and I'm going to preview it. This is how it looks when I previewed it.
It's really fun and it's high energy, and I really feel vigorous about the excitement that the students have actually brought forward.
So it's quite amazing to see how children can do this.
So I learned a lot as well of the augmented realities during the workshop.
When you scan the code, you will see a rocket appear. Hold the phone. When you click the link, you will see a YouTube video that my mother made explaining how electricity is generated.
And that shows how electricity can be generated. Over here, we see a coil.
Hey guys, today I'll be sharing my special AR project. First, let's scan the Zappa code. On the planet of the cats, Eva and her friends are stranded and they can't go back to their rocket ship. The cats are experiencing a serious condition of air pollution, causing many problems such as global warming, droughts, floods, and many other problems. What should Eva and her friends do to help the cats and get out of the pinch? I'll leave that up to you. And also, you can learn about air pollution by clicking the video. Okay guys, peace out. Bye.
Y'all like the session today?
Yes.
Yes?
Because I got to learn a lot of new stuff.
A lot of things like augmented reality, AR, and virtual reality.
If we have VR in school, we can see a lot more things that we can't normally see.
We are the team from our Young Mixed Reality Creator Workshop and we are so excited to meet you soon. Bye.
Hooray.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.
See all these young participants having fun while they're learning at the same time. An amazing project that they've come up with as well. We are going to announce the top 3 winners for our Mixed Reality Special Project. These projects were voted on by you on our Young Scientists Facebook page. And these 3 winners will walk away with 3 Untamed Wild Passes. So let's take a look at who these winners are. A big congratulations to our winners. It goes to Gideon Yen, Shavonne Louis, and Lovell Gold. We can give them a virtual round of applause. Big congratulations to them. We'll be contacting you and sending you the wild passes. So we've now come to the final round of quiz, and this is your last chance to win some prizes from us. In this segment, we are giving away 15 Young Scientists Batch subscriptions to 15 very lucky and knowledgeable winners. So the format will be the same. Please log into kahoot.it, kahoot.it. Enter the PIN on the screen and type in your full name. The PIN is 505087. 505087. So since this is our last round of quiz, make sure you tell everyone to get their devices, get online and join us right now. We've got 15 passes to give away, 15 subscriptions. So make sure, we're going to give it some time for people to get online. So make sure you call your friends, tell everyone, come online right now. There are 15 subscriptions for Young Scientists Batch program to give away. I'm seeing a lot of people without full names again, so as long as you are sure that we can identify you later and we won't confuse you for someone else, that would be great. But otherwise, I really recommend that you log back in with your full name. So all the earlier names with all the one name itself, like Isaac, like Neil. If you're absolutely sure that we won't confuse you from someone else, that's fine, but otherwise, you might want to come in with your full name. And once again, we're going to give this a little bit more time to make sure everyone has a chance to participate in this. So once again, 15 winners. Make sure you get your friends in, get your neighbors in, get your siblings in, get everyone in, all right? Once again, some very familiar names as well. Let's see if you win more than once today. And then for everyone else, this is your chance to get back on top and make sure you win something here today. I see Leaf and Uriana and Arivan and Praishan. I guess if you're sure your name will not be repeated by someone else, that's okay. I see Go Zhongzhe and Go Wenzhe, one after the other. I suppose someone just called their brother to come join in the game. Alright, let's see how many participants we can get for this before we begin. So once again, last quiz, last chance, 15 winners. If you've not gotten your friends to join in yet, this is your chance. Text them, WhatsApp them, IG them, Snapchat them, call them. Tell them to get online, go to Young Scientists Facebook page and join in the quiz right now. We're still seeing the numbers climb. Have some patience, everyone who's already here. And let's make this truly exciting for all. Alright. And I guess we can begin in a few seconds' time. Your last chance to get people in. Wow, Roxanne, I wonder how you made that nice effect with your name. That looks really, really cool. Maybe that will help you win something later. Alright, and let's see, are we ready to begin the quiz? Okay, let's begin the quiz. How much do you know about the Young Scientist Badge? So in 3, 2, 1, the first question is, how many Young Scientist badges are there as of 2020, excluding the seasonal badges? Is it 18 badges, 19 badges, 20 badges, or 21 badges? So once again, how many Young Scientist badges are there as of 2020, excluding the seasonal badges? 18, 19, 20, or 21? I've been very careful to not mention this at all throughout, so let's see who knows the answer. So for those of you who just joined in because your brother called you, your sister called you, your friend called you, the trick here is fastest fingers. The faster you enter your answer, and if it's the correct answer, the higher the points you get. So the scoreboard is quite live, it's quite fluid. You might be toppled off any time at all, so I recommend you be as fast as you can and make sure you get the correct answer. So how many Young Scientist badges are there as of 2020, excluding seasonal badges? 18, 19, 20 or 21. I can see a few people haven't answered yet, so maybe let's give them a little bit of time. Okay, for our last few remaining participants, if you're still struggling to think of the correct answer, you've got like 5 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, just key in anything. 2, 1, and let's see the answer. Wow, the answers are really split on this. And the correct answer is 19 badges. So it's 21 altogether with the seasonal badges and 19 without. And currently, Brandon Nessel is leading, followed by Juniper Lim, Lek Kai Sin, Bob, and Chia Mei Si. I am unfortunately unable to read out all the top 15 right now, but if you can topple one of these 5 people, you're probably safe. Next question, how many stars do I need to earn to get a badge? I briefly mentioned this earlier, so if you were paying attention, you've got this question correct. Was it 10 stars, 12 stars, 15 stars, or 20 stars? How many stars do I need to earn to get a badge? 10, 12, 15, or 20? So I guess the trick in the new normal is always pay attention to what the MC is saying because it could help you win prizes later. So 10 stars, 12 stars, 15 stars, or 20 stars? I can see the answers trickling in. Once again, a few individuals hesitating which one to press. And with that, 5 more seconds. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, let's see the answers. Answer is 15 stars. I guess most of you knew that already. And Brandon is sitting firm at number 1. Lek Kai Sin has moved up. Chia Mei Si has moved up. Kiona Ang is here. And Arrivan Lau is here as well. Everyone has moved up. Brandon has stayed there. All right, somebody, topple Brandon. Okay, question 3. What was the name of the program when it was first launched? Was it the Young Scientist Badge Scheme? Was it the Science Center Science Club? Was it Science Center Special Projects? Or was it the Primary Science Activities Club? Wow, this is a tricky question. What is the name of the program when it was first launched? I highly suspect many of us weren't born yet. Was it the Young Scientist Badge Scheme, Science Center Science Club, Science Center Special Projects, or the Primary Science Activities Club? I'm seeing more hesitation with the answers here. People are slowly keying in with their answers. That's okay. I'm going to give you a little bit more time because this one is a little bit difficult. Maybe you need to ask your mom, ask your dad, ask your older siblings, ask your grandparents. Maybe they would know. And once again, last few people hesitating. What on earth was this program called when it was launched? All right, once again, last few participants. I know those of you who have keyed in already, you're probably sitting on the edge of your seat right now. You're like, tell me the answer. Did I get it correct? Hang in there, we'll get there soon. And the answer is Primary Science Activities Club. Many people went for Young Scientist Badge Scheme. Good guess. Brandon is unshakable. He's been sitting at the first place since the first question. Kiona is still there, Anushka is there, Vishruti is on fire. And we've got Janessa Hao joining in the mix. So once again, if you can topple any of these 5 people, especially Brandon, you are safe. What is the name of this badge? I can't describe it for you. Please take a look at your screen. So is this the I am a young engineer badge, I'm a young chemist, I'm a young zoologist, or I am a young geologist? I'm seeing lots of squiggly lines on the badge. I see sockets, I see wrenches, lots of little icons. I'm not doing it justice if describing it. Make sure you enlarge your screen and take a look. And if you know it, you know it. If you don't know it, guess it. I'm a young engineer, I'm a young chemist, I'm a young zoologist, or I am a young geologist. All right, let's give it a few more seconds. so that we can get as much answers as we can. And like I said, if you know it, put it in. If you don't know it, guess it. I mean, there's a 1/4 chance that you're correct. All right, let's see the answers. It's the I Am a Young Engineer badge. Well done to the 31 people who got it correct. Let's see if anyone toppled Brendan yet. No way, Brendan is still there. Well done, Brendan. Whoever is standing beside Brendan right now, give him a pat on the shoulders. He is unshakable. Kiona as well. Vishruti has moved up. Janessa has climbed 1 space up. And we've got Gideon joining the ranks. And the fastest climber now is Zhongzi, I think. All right, 5th question. Which of the following badges is the I Am a Young Environmentalist badge? I am unable to read out the options to you. You have to take a look at the screen. A has a light bulb in it. B has a caterpillar. C has the word green. And D has a nice smoking volcano. So which of this is I Am a Young Environmentalist badge? A, B, C, or D? Maybe some of you have that badge. You probably want to take it out and take a look at it and see which of these options is correct. I'm guessing lots of people have this badge because the answers are coming in fast and furious. Wow. All right, let's give the remaining people who might not have seen this badge before a few seconds to guess. You can flip a coin, flip a dice. Every one of them looks like it's a potential possibility. All right, let's see the answers. And the answer is C, the one with a leaf on it that says green. And oh my goodness, Brandon has dropped to the 2nd place and Vishruti has taken over the throne. Ku Jing Heng is within the top 5. There's Juniper and Kiona is still here. Well done. Now, last question. All right, let's see if Brandon gets his top spot back or someone else comes over and takes over instead. In which year was the Young Scientist card launched? Was it 2019? Was it 1982? Or the year 2000? Or maybe it was 1970? So once again, if you were listening to me clearly just now, maybe there was a little bit of hint there. Maybe my hint was not accurate. It's fully up to you to decide. Was it 2019? Was it 1982? Was it 2000? Or was it 1970? This is a good chance to ask around your household right now and see what your family members know. Maybe they had it in their era, maybe they did not. All right, this is the last question. This is our last quiz. 15 winners. So I'm going to give this a few more seconds to make sure everyone has the best opportunity. And the answer is 1982. How many of us were not born yet then? Okay, now I can only see the top 5 people here. So we've got Ku Jing Heng, we've got Brandon, who's at 2nd spot, and we've got Vishruti, who is claiming champion. And we've got runners-ups, Juniper and Gideon as well. So, but like I said, we've got 15 winners for this. So don't worry if you don't see your name up here. Don't worry if you're not sure what space you're at. At the end of the program later, we're going to be flashing up all the names. You can check to make sure your name is on it. And then later on, we'll tell you how you can go about to get your prizes as well. And a big, big congratulations to all our winners today. Now, next up, we have invited 3 students to share with us their journey on board the Young Scientist Badge program. And the first student we have with us today is the very adorable Elizabeth. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hello.
Hello. Elizabeth, would you like to share with us what are the cards that you have completed?
I have done 10 badges: young marine biologist, zoologist, mathematician, chemist, geneticist, mixed reality, food scientist, astronomer, geospatial scientist, and botanist.
Wow, that's 10 badges. That is a lot to achieve. So which one of these is your favorite Young Scientist badge?
My favorite badge is marine biologist because I love drawing an imaginary sea creature and write a fictional story of a marine animal.
I think you have to hold it higher. I can't see it, Elizabeth. Maybe hold it higher.
This is
There
my
you go.
octofish.
An octofish. Wow, that is adorable. All right, Elizabeth. So which of these projects are you most proud of?
I planted 4 types of beans from my young botanist batch.
Can we see it?
I'm
Oh, okay.
I'm still taking care of my plant for 4 months already. It is so tall that it reaches our balcony ceiling. We also have harvested beans and milk soup.
My goodness, that looks like a really, really tall plant. You probably can climb it soon like a beanstalk, right? All right, thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you for sharing with us. We really love receiving your submissions, and we can really see the hard work and the dedication that you have put in. Now, next, we're going to invite our next young scientist, Lovell. Hi, Lovell.
Hello.
Hello. Lovell, we have been seeing so many of your really beautifully done submissions, and I'm so honored we're finally meeting you in person. So, Lovell, can you share with us how many cards have you completed?
I have completed 22 cards, which took me 4.5 months to complete. They are basically all the cards available at Young Scientist website.
21
the badges
cards?
I have are
Go on.
I am a young astronomer, botanist, chemist, ecologist, energy saver, and so on.
That sounds amazing. You said you completed all the cards, right? Is that 21 or 22? 21 cards, right?
Yeah,
I think
no,
that's
22 cards.
22 cards. My gosh, that's a lot to achieve at 8 years old. Can you share with us perhaps what is the most interesting thing that you learned while completing the Young Scientist badges?
Definitely task 24. I am a young marine biologist where we are asked if life is possible without sunlight. I didn't realize that life is indeed possible without sunlight until I investigated the ecosystem that thrives around a deep sea hydrothermal vent. That was really a pleasant realization for me.
That sounds like a very, very interesting project. Would you like to show us some projects that you've done and that you're really, really proud of?
I am most proud of I am a young science chemist practicing IE application of separation technique. The experiment I did was to recover and separate sugar and salt crystals that were both dissolved in water. The whole experiment took rather long, about 4 hours, mainly because of the repeated rounds of low heat evaporation that needed to be done. I learned that with appropriate combination of separation, solvent filtration, and evaporation, I can easily recover salt and sugar from even a homogeneous solution.
Thank you very much for sharing with us, Lovell. And I think really, really inspirational. You're really motivating. 21 cards at 8 years old. That sure pushes the rest of us along to keep achieving more as well. So last but not least, we have Shavonne on our show here today. Hi, Shavonne.
Hello.
Hello. I'm very sure I saw you on the video earlier. Shavonne, would you like to share with us what are the cards that you have completed?
Since starting on this Young Scientist Batch program in March this year, I have completed a total of 16 courses. These are some of the courses that I did. The Young Geologist, the Young Marine Biologist, the Young Meteorologist, the Young Water Ambassador, the Young Energy Saver, and the Young Zoologist.
That is amazing, Shavonne. So which one is your favorite out of all these that you have done?
I have a few that I really like. For example, the Young IT, which was fun because I got to learn about information technology and how to apply it in daily life, such as having online meetings with my friends via Zoom and Google Meets and using word processor and PowerPoints to complete various tasks. I also like the Young Entomologist where I got to learn about insects. I learned about the different parts of an insect, the different kinds of beetles, and the different types of insect wings. Finally, the Ornithologist was an interesting course as I learned about the different types of feet birds have for different purposes and the different types of beaks suited for what they eat, and I even got to carry out an experiment by putting an egg in vinegar. The eggshell reacted with the acidic vinegar and dissolved to form carbon dioxide, so it became a naked egg.
Oh wow, is that the egg that dissolved?
Yes.
It looks amazing. I'm sure you've enjoyed yourself very much in doing all these experiments and on this program. Would you like to say some words of encouragement, or is there anything you want to say to all the other children who are still working on their badges?
For those of you who are in the midst of completing the Young Scientist badges, I encourage you to finish as many courses as you can because you get to learn about the different kinds of work various people do, such as the geospatial scientist, the food scientist, the geneticist, the environmentalist, and the MR creator. And do remember to have fun in the process.
Thank you very much, Shavonne. That was indeed very encouraging to everyone. And yes, we will remember to have fun in the process. A very big thank you to our very lovely Elizabeth, Lovell, and Shavonne. And for all of you who would like to get inspiration from some of our students' work, we are going to launch our featured project webpage during the show later on. You'll be able to see Elizabeth, Lovell, and Shavonne's work alongside other students' work as well on the webpage. So now we are very honored to have two Young Scientists Badge alumni to share about their past experiences on this program. First up, we have Edmund. Let's see what are his fond memories of this program.
Hi everybody, my name is Edmund and I work in the IT industry. I remember doing this Young Scientist Badge program more than 30 years ago, and I completed the Young Astronomer, Young Mathematician, Young Geologist, and Young Meteorologist badges. My favorite one was the Young Geologist because I got to learn about earthquakes, how volcanoes come about, and how mountains are formed. During my time, I remember we had the program in blue cards and we didn't have any internet or Google. So we had to go to the National Library to search for the information to do the task. For those of you who are working on the courses, I encourage you to do as many tasks as possible within each course. Don't just focus on the 15 points, because as you do the task, you will learn a lot more. Have fun doing your courses.
Thank you very much for sharing with us, Edmund. And just for everyone's information, Edmund is actually Shavonne's father. I'm sure that his fond memories on this program was a big drive for Shavonne to complete her badges as well. It's always amazing to see parent and child enjoying activities together like that. We have one more alumni here with us today, Nazruddin, who will also be sharing with us some of his fond memories.
Okay, hi everyone, my name is Nas. I'm a science educator here at Science Center. Okay, so which of the Young Scientist badges did I complete? And which were my favorite badges? Okay, so I completed 3 cards in the past. I did the Young Entomologist card, Young Astronomer, as well as the Young Environmentalist card. So I still have some of them till today. So this is the Astronomer badge as well as the Young Entomologist card. Okay, so my favorite actually has to be the Young Entomologist card. Okay, the reason is because I felt the activities were very engaging and I had a lot of fun learning about the different species of insects. So what were some of the fondest moments that I had while working on the Young Scientist cards? Okay, so my favorite one has to be when I was working on the Young Entomologist card. So one of the activity involved me making a simple insect trap for insect collection. So what I did was to make a simple trap using a Tupperware container and poking holes at the top for airflow. So I collected a caterpillar that was found in a lime plant growing outside of my house. So I brought it over to school, and the reason why the memory was so fond is because I had the opportunity of seeing it grow from a caterpillar to a pupa and finally a butterfly. Yeah, so of course I let it free after that. So what would I like to say to current young scientist batch participants? Always take this opportunity to learn about the many different fields of science and have the mindset to always continue learning. Yep, so that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing, Nas. It's always heartwarming to know that the Young Scientist Batch program have made such a profound impact on everyone's lives, and that was such a heartwarming sharing as well. The Young Scientist Batch scheme was first introduced in 1982. Since then, we have awarded more than 1 million badges to students all over Singapore. Since the online platform was launched in 2019, we have up to 7,000 subscribers on our program. We'd like to take this opportunity to thank each and every student for your submissions. We've put together a photo gallery and we're very pleased to launch this webpage during this ceremony. So on this webpage, you will be able to view the outstanding submissions of all our students. So do check out this webpage and please give your full support to your friends as well. If you are watching this ceremony and you would like to be featured, keep your submissions coming in and you might be next to be featured during our award ceremony in 2021. So the link for this webpage will be shared on our Facebook page later as well so that you can all go and enjoy it. So thank you everyone for being here with us today. We had a great time celebrating your hard work and effort on the Young Scientist Badge scheme. We are going to now flash the names of all the winners in our quizzes segment here today. If you see your name appearing on screen, please send us a private message on the Young Scientists Facebook page and we will contact you for the prize details. A big congratulations to everyone here once again. If you want to, take a slow look through this list, you can take a photo of it. Or if not, later on, we'll also be posting this list onto the Facebook page so that you can take a look. If your friends are not here to take a look at this list and they were here for the quizzes earlier, tell them to check back on the Facebook page later on. So we're going to do a quick scroll through with all our winners for today. Take a quick look if your name is here. If it's not here, don't worry, don't be disheartened. We'll have other chances coming up. And if you're not sure if your name is here or not, check back on the Facebook page later on. And now we'd like to extend our gratitude towards our sponsors for their unwavering support in this meaningful program. And with that, we have come to the end of our program. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I hope you had fun. And our Young Scientists team are looking forward to many more submissions and another very fruitful award ceremony in 2021. We will see you next year. Goodbye.